I'm back again today with what might be one of my favorite segments, a mashed differently. This time the patterns couldn't be more different, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to use 100% of either of the patterns in the making this. So this one, this one could be different. So yeah, let's do this. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AKAAWOL, and today we are going to do a mashed differently. So this is going to promise to be an interesting one. So we're starting with this. This is pattern 64152, and it's got this sort of, I don't know, there's something interesting about that little thing here. So that's what I'm going to run down the middle. And then on the outside, we have this pattern. This is 41417. And like I said, this couldn't be more different. Kind of need to get above it. There we go. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to put on the outsides. I'm not real super keen on the red and the blue of this one. I really just like what's going on down the middle of it. So I'm thinking I'm going to kind of lean on this one just a little bit to possibly make up some of the difference in the other. So yeah, this is, I have no idea what's going to happen. That's what makes these videos kind of fun and interesting. So let's start with this one. I need to get above it so that way I can take and, oh, I got it on a fixed size. There we go. Control C, bring that over here. Control V. We need to rotate that by 90 degrees. And we need to enlarge it. And I am going to flip it to go the other direction. So we're just going to put this off to the side here. So that's what I want to run down the middle. Okay, so if you're kind of new here, I don't use black because if you want to try to change out the color, it makes all the borders go away. So for the black, I'm just going to use like a gray. And we're just going to start in on this first and kind of get it established. So, wait, we need to anchor that layer. There we go. So yeah, and I guess for all intensities we can use the same color that was in that. So it goes like this and like this. Now, I looked at the other pattern, this one over here, and there are 3 blacks in it. I'm not 100% sure that's what's needed to make this work, but assuming that it is, yeah, that's a possibility. Alright, so then the yellow is back up here. So yeah, this is kind of neat. I kind of, oh, and why I was worried about the direction of this is there's going to be, obviously, when this gets flipped over to go the other direction, the arrows are going to be going outside from the center. I don't know why I thought that would be so cool, but like that was my first thought when I saw this thing, that what I wanted to do with it. So yeah. So yeah, it's a small one, and then it comes out one, and it's the bigger one. So again, I'm mapping this because it's a little bit easy, and I have no idea how the rest of this is going to go. So start with the easy stuff, work your way up from there. So how are you guys doing? Leave me a little something down in the comments. Let me know how you've been. I have been dealing with all kinds of crazy sinus problems. So I'm not even sure if I sound like myself right now. Wow. So this repeats itself quite a number of times. I didn't kind of work that out beforehand. But yeah. Whoop. Hit the outer part of the box. And we are almost to the end now. In fact, this will do it. And I'm not sure what happens over there. So now it's a case of figuring out, what does the black do? Like I said, I know that the other one has 3. I don't know if that's necessary or not. Are these the 2 rows of the other colors? So yeah, this might get a little bit complicated up in here. A lot of little zigzag motions and whatnot. If you notice, I do try to keep track. Anytime where, like right here, there was a gray coming in from one side as well as the other side. So I try to make sure that I have on both sides, so that way I kind of don't make a mistake and leave one off. It would mess with the overall count and being able to move forward properly. So yeah, that's a... So that's 1, 2. Yeah, so maybe it doesn't need all 3. Maybe that's just because there was room for an extra string. That I'm not too sure about. But yeah, this appears that in order to have the stripe going through here, it's 2 strings on the one side of the loop. Then obviously you have 4 strings in all. Yeah, so I kind of came into this knowing that this would be a little bit unusual. And it's still, we're only a fragment of the way into this. So what I want to do is not use the little stripes that were going on the outside of this. Obviously, I picked a spot of the bracelet that I liked, and I'm going to use that. But now I've got room to experiment and play with something else. So this other pattern is sort of like an elongated arrowhead that sort of does this little repeat thing. And so we're going to see if we can kind of keep that doing what it's doing, and what happens to the kind of outer segment of it. Because remember, we're splitting it in half, right? So that's going to be like the outside part out here. So then it comes into a question of what can we do with that? And we might have to change it a lot. I mean, that's happened to me in pattern making before. Oh, wait. So it looks like these blacks sort of trade off the directions. Like if you just let them kind of run straight, they're going to trade which way they were going an awful lot. So that's sort of cool. It means you're not going to use one a whole lot more than the other. So those go there. And then I don't know where that's going to go. That could go all the way up to the corners for all I know. Oops. Right. Oh no. That should be a black. That means... There we go. Don't want to go messing it up already. There we go. So that's nice and even. So there's the start of our bracelet. It really is interesting. That's... Alright, so now let's take from this one. And we need to enlarge it. And scooch it off to the side. And I'm guessing bring it up here so I can see it well. And anchor. All right. So This center diamond thing should be at the middle down here. Let's... I suppose that color is the same as our other one. I wonder if we put that in the middle. This might work. And then it skips a space and is here. All right. We'll go with the colors that they have. So then the green then goes into a diamond. And it's out here. So let's first take a look at this side, because obviously we don't have room for all of the colors. At least, you know, on the inside part. But maybe this works, because we just don't have so much of that. This might work. Again, we're working with like what we can see and what was easy first. And then we'll see what we kind of have room for. Yeah, I don't know where that color goes to end up at the other side. Is that right? That is right. So this side works. And we have to assume that because this other pattern was all worked out, that the other side will in fact work out as well. Yeah, this is this is flying by the seat of your pants right here. This is, I'm not 100% how this is supposed to work out. So obviously this one string through here is the blue, I'm guessing. Well, if it's this dark blue, oh. See, okay, this one calls for having a light blue that goes into the center, which doesn't get used anywhere else. We may go for that because we can pull the color from this side. The dark blue obviously has to run along here in order to make that part work. But we can have maybe the dark blue come up to here, and then the light blue comes from the other side, and that could be interesting. Okay, so it does that, then the green comes out, the orange does that. That. And then the orange does a diamond. So needless to say, this is a little bit complex on the side, and that's got everything to do with our choices on doing this side thing here. But I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the looks of it. So then the green does a diamond. This goes through kind of quickly. The green does a diamond. Comes out, the orange is there. Green comes out, and the orange does that. So now all I have to do is map it. Obviously, a little bit of the stuff going on to the right still has to be solved for, because I don't know what happens with all of that. And then we know that this sort of does a bunch of bouncing to come up to there. Yeah, so this whole series of doing the mesh differently is really about challenging myself. These are way more advanced. This is about challenging myself. This is about giving you patterns that are enticing and fun, and yeah, hopefully you guys appreciate this, because this is hard work. So again, we are doing the easy parts. I kind of feel like, as difficult as this bracelet might be, this might not be the hardest of the series, because there is some elements of the pattern repeating and doing things and kind of making sense about how it works. So there's that. I mean, that's kind of a nice aspect of something like this. Whoops. All right. So now the dark blue, and we know that it goes to that little center part there, and we're not necessarily doing that. See, on this side, it's not coming in from this spot here. It's coming from out here. So like I said, we still might end up with an other random color like this light blue that they have to be the string that makes that center dot. I'm not sure how strongly I'm thinking that's necessary. Like I said, it's an interesting concept. I'm not ruling it out. So and see how I left it there? Like the color would come in from the other side. Now, I'm not 100% sure what kind of colors I want to do this in. I'm not actually opposed to the colors that we're working into this. But with having so many things possible, I don't want to commit to something and then I don't know. That's that one. So I guess just to be whatever, we can bring the blue up there. Because why not? Alright, so now yeah, because these colors bounce, right? So that's where's the other one here? There we have it. So now all of the orange is all nice and linked. Perfect. So the next color is this sort of a purpley color. Let's see, it can go this way or this way. Let's say it goes this way. So this isn't bad. This is kind of relatively straightforward. And I guess we can just bring that up and out. And then the last color we have is the red. And it is here. So as you can see, there are two paths left. And as I'm out, kind of determining where the string kind of naturally is going to want to go. And yeah, we have that one color left. Yeah. Oops. I'm like, why is there two? That's why. Oh, and that didn't. That one kind of came out sloppy, but that's okay. I can see what it is. All right, so we have a light blue. Why not? It's kind of exciting how I didn't honestly think all of this pattern was necessarily going to fit in perfectly, and then it just did. All the way down to having, like, I really honestly thought that we'd end up with a dark blue center inside of these little diamonds, just because it kind of made sense. But yeah. Also a little bit surprised. Whoops. That is red. Something went wrong here. Light blue goes this way. This pink goes that way. And this red goes that way. Wow. Yeah, that was a big mess. Okay, all sorted. So now, this is why we have guidelines. It is because that's going to snap to the side in the middle right there, and this is going to snap to this part here. Bring this in a bit. Control C, Control V. We are going to flip this horizontally and scooch this over. That should be there. Snaps onto the grids. Perfect. And anchor. Now, these patterns on the side are making it hard to stay within their little things. Okay, Control C, Control V. This time we flip vertically. Snap it onto the grid. Ooh, we were off by a pixel. That was not bad. Anchor that, and there is our very complex and interesting. Here, let's get these other ones out of the way. Delete, paint, and delete and paint. There. A little less distracting. So yeah, we have interesting things going out from both sides down the middle. We've got stuff going outside of it. It almost looks like it could be like a bracelet sitting on top of another bracelet, right? I mean, there's just something kind of interesting about the stripe in the middle. So yeah, thank you for hanging out this long. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe. Before I go, as always, I want to thank my Patreon supporters for making all this happen, and I couldn't do it without them. If you want to join, it's Patreon/AKAAWOL, and yeah, this is a lot of fun. I look forward to making this one, and yeah, you can find it over on my website, akaawol.com. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.